This is like really, this is personal to me. I don't even know if I really like should be saying this, but I'm just gonna say it because it's the truth. For me, going into this at this point in my life in skating, at some point it dawned on me, okay, if I want to continue and go further and continue to grow and try to do the best I can, I need help.
But you did send me a text the other day that I loved. You were just like, there's nothing I would change about the sole. Like the way it feels, the way it skates, I wouldn't change a single thing.
What's up guys, this is Levi from Shred Shop Connect You to Skateboarding, and today we're talking about the most anticipated skateboard shoe of all time, the New Balance Andrew Reynolds Pro Shoe. Andrew Reynolds has designed some of the most iconic skateboard shoes of all time. And so we were so excited to sit down and see what New Balance and Andrew Reynolds had cooked up with all their years of experience brought together. In this episode, we're going to talk about incredible design stories, hidden details on the shoe that only skate nerds would understand, how the shoe became the most secretive skateboard release of all time, how it's probably the most technical skateboard shoe ever made, working with scientists to create the shoe, borrowing technology from basketball. Andrew talks about who the shoe is designed for, and we have an interview with Andrew Reynolds himself and head shoe designer from New Balance, Jeff Mikut, and we get into all the nitty-gritty details with them. And we're gonna show you what a pair of these shoes look like after Andrew Reynolds skates them for a month. We honestly really love making this one. If you guys like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll keep giving you what you love. If you're on other platforms, so are we. It's at Shred Shop and at Levi Switzer.
The majority of my skate life, I was with Soul Technology, skater-owned company. Owner Pierre Andre, freestyle skater. That was a good experience, good people, and I watched it grow up until what it was, you know. Vans, cool, you know, great people, support a lot of my guys on my team, and it was a good experience. They have classic shoes. I mean, their whole thing is skaters said that's our shoe. They weren't really paying attention to like insole foams and stuff like that, you know what I mean? I had like this tough guy attitude. I'll figure it out. I'll skate any Volk, I'll skate any cup. I don't care. I'm gonna just skate them and get used to it. My feeling of skating really thin, flexible shoes, when people talk about, I want all the board feel I can get, that to me feels like I walked on the beach for barefoot for like an hour. I would come home and be in more pain after the session than I would have been if I had better shoes. The shoe testing started with half cabs with a thicker, like whatever insole comes in them, but like double the thickness. And luckily my feet look like this. They're like not a tall foot. I could put insoles in my shoes and be raised up and it's not gonna like mash up against the top of the shoe. You know, I didn't have to put two insoles, they just made me some. And that was cool. I'm like, okay, I'm a little further from my board. But then with the Volk, in 3 days, the shoe's flexing more than I like. I'm using a lot, you know, more than I'm used to, and I don't like the feeling of. Then I was also like cutting them long ways to kind of see. I started to measure, okay, like let's just say I have a half cab. I mean, most of the time the rubber in a skate shoe is probably about the same, but still more, for me, more is going to mean more stiffness and more bounce and more padding. Even if the rubber's really thin, it's going to be worse for me. The ones that I really liked, I noticed had this foam layer built in. It wasn't like where the insole drops in. That works too. It just, that's not the way the ones that I like are built. But yeah, so I kind of came to this conclusion. What is between the bottom of my barefoot and the concrete while I'm skating? And I just like drew it like a sandwich, like a hamburger. Like I got my socks, my insoles, whatever the shoe is made up of, a deck, and then the hardness of wheels, and then the concrete. So I'm like, how many things can I get in there that take impact off of my joints? Maybe it seems like some like weird thought process, but to me, it's just like a simple thought. I put on a Lynx and I had this like back patio at the time, and I just go back there and do flat ground and do kickflips and stuff. It just felt perfectly good. I'm like, wow, like you just haven't grown out of this this crazy 2002 fat skate shoe or whenever they existed. It felt good. The runner toe, it flicked. I was like, yeah, I want my shoe to do all the work for me. I don't really want to have to use my feet at all. Okay, what do I like? I like a cup sole that has a built-in midsole that's about this thick in the back and about that thick in the front. Let's see what exists. What shoes exist that are made that way? Tiago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the time it was Tiago, and the 480 wasn't out yet. And
Yeah.
I think that's what some of your questions for me were, is like, are you guys doing more of this?
And then I'm in my research, of all the actually all the brands, I'm like, wow, there's a 1010. No joke. I think there was one shoe.
But when we looked at like design lanes for this shoe, I think the biggest thing is like, we have an opportunity to tell a tech story here that we wouldn't be able to do without someone like yourself. And it was similar with Tiago. Just able to bring more technology that we weren't able to do just as like a team model. But the 990s specifically, it's a shoe that fits Andrew's aesthetic naturally, like when he kind of started asking for shoes beyond numeric. But that lane of design was something we haven't tapped into from a numeric lens. And Andrew's kind of quote to me when we first kind of started talking, he's like, he loves everything pre-1993, like older styling. And so that like language is the tried and true New Balance kind of dad market. But we wanted to take that and dust it off and kind of put it into a little bit more streamlined space that would be a little bit more contemporary, speak to a younger consumer, but still hark back to like the lineage of the brand.
For me, all the ones that started with a 9 just felt kind of elite or something. I just was like, oh, like it's as simple as that. Like if you look at the made in the UK 991,
the 992 is made in USA shoe.
You'll see this. You'll see these 3 pieces. You'll see mesh like this. Oh, this split 990 V6, you know?
Yep.
But it's like way up here and super dramatic and curvy, you know, and like, okay, let's just take that and like bring it into a place that's skatable. You know, we're moving like this. They're running like this, so they don't have to worry about just like, you know, so it just wouldn't work, you know? So you need that cup like holding your foot in. So respect to people who skate and runners.
Yeah, totally.
It's sick.
I would say that's a good point though. Like in a lot of runners, like you'll see this sidewall and you're standing on all that foam. And in a shoe like this, for containment reasons, you're sitting down about here so that your foot has stability from the sole, not necessarily just underneath your foot, because you are moving side to side more so than forward and back.
Yeah, we're jumping and like moving all over the place, like every which way. If you're running, you're just kind of straight.
Like this is what is this number? 920 made in England.
Oh, yeah.
This is how all of their shoes finish. So we wanted to keep that aesthetic. So if you're looking at your closet, those all look the same, right? The running toes are just all the same. So we were paying homage more so to the running category. And it just so happens that the Lynx has that as well.
Because then we could do like crazy colors and
also reduce the weight and make a lighter weight shoe. I mean, if you look at the medial side, we replaced all that rubber, right? This is a rubber piece all the way up to here, foam, and the foam wraps all the way into the medial side. So all of that weight of rubber is just absent. And yeah, this is the most technical we've gotten to go in skateboarding footwear.
And plus now that I see it I've been getting like foam clips at skate park and getting footage, you really see it.
Oh, 100%.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, is it the most comfortable shoe ever made? I think that's a subjective thing. I would say in my 19 years as a footwear designer, this is the most comfortable shoe I've ever made. I think as a category, it's kind of the all-terrain type product. Like it's something you can walk all day and skate all day and film all day, whichever role you play in skateboarding, and maybe you do all of them. It's very versatile. It's soft underfoot. So this green layer that you're seeing that runs over the body of your foot, the majority of your underfoot here, is a softer compound called Absorb. And what that means, that's New Balance's technology that has a little bit of a rubber content, and it's highly responsive, but it absorbs impact, right? So downward motion impact, it'll absorb it, take it away from reverberating back up into your body. But we know that this material is slightly heavier than foam. So we chose to kind of wrap it in this gray foam, which is a little bit firmer. And the idea is that it's lighter weight, so we save some weight there, but it also allows, when you have your like lateral and medial movements, it banks your foot back into place with a firmer sidewall, because if this was soft, you'd start to like step over the sides. So it creates structure, and then your whole foot is standing on top of a more comfortable material. So that's like the dual density midsole. This sits inside of a rubber kind of chamber here. It's not on this here because I forgot the piece, but there's a Primo plate here, and there's 2 reasons why this is here. 1, Primo. 2, Andrew had a point where he really wanted to control the flex. He was mentioning how he wants the shoe to do more work for him. So our flex point we chose was right here. We didn't want the shoe to bend a ton from this point back. So it controls a flex point and a Primo plate all in one. And then from here, like on the shoe itself, we have a foam lasting board here. So this is a softer foam. It just puts another layer between this rigid material and the foot, and then we have an insole that goes on top. And the insole is, we've heard the term PU a ton in skateboarding. This is an innovative PU that's a little bit softer than what we might have traditionally used. This softens, it adds to that comfort level. Then these really give you your performance elements in the midsole. It creates a little bit firmer of points of flex, but working these two together, it's just like it's a new experience I haven't felt in a skate shoe ever. And I'm really happy we chose to go this direction with it.
One of the most interesting parts of the shoe is a little nod to the skate nerds. The flex pattern on the bottom of the shoe has these little notches in it, each engraved with a small number. 10 notches, 10 numbers. Each of the 10 notches represents a pivotal moment in his life. 1978, the year that he was born. 1987, the year that he started skating. 1995, the year that he turned pro for Birdhouse. 1998, the year that he won Thrasher Magazine's Skater of the Year. 2000, the year that he started Baker. 2002, the year that he got sober. 2005, the year that his daughter Stella was born. 2010, the year that his Stay Gold part came out. 2011, when he met his partner. 2022, the year that he signs with New Balance Numeric.
This is, all the older skaters are going to relate to this. In the beginning of the session, in the first 15, 20 minutes, I'm like, wow, this is painful and I really suck right now. I was mad actually. All right, I got to do 100 kickflips right now on flat. Like just because. So I did 100, but also I got to test the shoe. Nothing. No, not even a stitch broke. I sent him the picture. I was like, so I got the same pair, went on a Baker trip to Miami. That was another 2 weeks of skating, street skating, skating in parks every day, skating lot 11. Yeah, it's broke here, but it's down. This is peeling back a little, but the kickflip toe in the mesh, the lace didn't even break. Here, check it. Yeah.
But the amount of people that showed up with like a full attention to what we needed, that was what I was most impressed by. I've only done this is the only time I've done this with a skater, is like a lot of times we just do it in Long Beach and we reach out, we get emails back and data and all that stuff. But this is the first time we actually flew out together. And we show up and there's like a room full of people. There's a technical engineer, there's someone from the sports research lab, which is like we call them scientists, because they are. And then we had a design director who helps out with like Kawhi's product and baseball. He just is a wealth of knowledge, has been there for over 20 years. So what we did there, it's like Andrew got his foot scanned and the research lab just gave us analytics on every single shoe. The foam densities, the flex rates, the rebound on every midsole, insole, the combinations of both, and gave us a chart to kind of analyze. And we sat there and just kind of like took our own feelings of like our perceptions of each shoe and put it against it. And I think it pretty much aligned, I felt like, with a lot of what we saw. But they did a soft part, and what they were doing is putting this inside the 808 and then doing a CT scan. So they were basically doing an X-ray, and they could control the level of X-ray so we could see how his foot was interacting on the inside of the shoe. They overlaid that over his foot so we could see which one fit best from like a top-down view, a side view, a heel view, and a bottom view. Again, which visually aligned with where we were probably going to go, but it just confirmed a lot of the direction on what fit to go forward with.
Leaving Boston and the attention to detail that all the team was willing to put into this project, that was a big deal for me. No, just knowing like, oh yeah, they understand what we're doing, and they appreciate the skateboarders a lot. While designing this, or while picking out a pair of jeans, or while setting up your board, when something doesn't look right, for me, my eye just goes to it. I'm like, that's wrong. That's ugly, that's wrong. I don't know why, I just know, like, I think it's from years and years of seeing the coolest skaters that I love do a certain thing, wear a certain thing. So that's why I learned this little trick from Ellington right here. He would take the masking tape and cover up the area that was wrong, or he'll cover up the whole shoe, and then you just start drawing. You're like, oh, that's not right. More tape. The one thing, I've never not once put this on since I got it and had it not skate good. So I was like, that's a win.
But you did send me a text the other day that I loved. You were just like, there's nothing I would change about the sole. Like the way it feels, the way it skates, I wouldn't change a single thing.
Nope.
And I think like that was really heartwarming, but I think everything that we did from an upfront kind of like from the data research, the sports research lab into our own research, all that stuff was worth the time and effort. It was the weirdest thing for me just being a fan of Andrew's. I'm 38, you're 40. I was probably 37 at the time, you were probably 45 at the time. Just looking up to Andrew my whole life, I'm like telling him he can't take his pro shoe outside of this building. And we all were like, I know it was hard for you to not do that. It wasn't a trust issue with you, it was a trust issue with the people that photograph you all the time. Because when you walk outside this building, I think that there's many times you just walk out and someone's like, Andrew Reynolds? And you just try to get a photo and you forget what you're wearing. You know?
I would have blown it instantly.
Yeah.
I did it. This is why they didn't trust me. I'll tell a little backstory. I wasn't quite out of my Vans contract. It was ending, but I was like gung-ho on these Tiagos. And I'm in New York, and Spanky takes a picture of me, makes my head big or something, just post it, not even thinking. That's one. And they're like, yo, you can't do that. You know, I'm like, oh, because you're in a contract and stuff. So that was one. And then Tom Knox's new shoe was out. Nobody had seen it. And then Spanky like takes my picture and makes my head big somewhere else, and I have the Tom Knox's on. So this is like multiple times when I have a reason to understand why they're not giving me the shoe, you know? I wanted to just skate it and start filming because getting clips is hard and I need a lot of time. They're right, you know what I mean? To keep it under wraps, because I think it was kind of cool in the end of it all. And the first time it really got seen was on the Thrasher cover. I mean, that's like best case scenario, you know what I mean?
When we brought all the shoes to Baker Boys and we had the whole team there, it was interesting to even like lock it up in like a bigger space with a bunch of people, because people saw it and it was nice to get like opinions beyond our bubble. But the goal was to essentially like just not let it just live on the internet. That's a hard thing to do these days.
And it definitely some got leaked at one point from maybe some photos from a factory, and it pissed me off too because they weren't even the right ones and the photos were bad. Even for me, I was like, it looks dumb. Like, come on, like at least the first time people see it, we want it to look fresh, you know? I designed this shoe for something that I really wanted to skate in. It didn't exist for me to skate in. So it's right for me. That doesn't mean everybody's gonna love it. It's gonna be too thick for some people. It's gonna be too stiff for some people. Some people might not like the look of it. So all those people saying, no, I don't like this, I don't like that, shut up. Go buy something else.
The way that you showed up with a trash bag full of shoes cut in half. You weren't even thinking about what the shoe looked like, you were thinking about how it would perform. So we started with like a foundation of thought and intention, and then we started to tackle aesthetics, right? And you were there from like moment one to the final moment. And I don't even know if we're ever going to be done because we're going to keep evolving, right? That's what we do. But your involvement, and I feel like your attention to detail and your ability to communicate with me and willingness to communicate, I think that's a big thing. Not a lot of skaters want to spend time working on product. They want to spend time getting clips. And you want to do both, which is...
I need to spend more time getting clips.
Well, that's now's the time.
Yeah.
What would Piss Drunks Andrew Reynolds say if he saw 2025 Andrew Reynolds wearing this shoe at New Balance?
I think there definitely was a time during that era where we were all buying other shoes outside of skate shoes. But I'd say might have been a couple New Balance runners in there, you know, or like Nike Cortezes, or it wasn't that out of the ordinary to be wearing shoes from the mall in that era. Because like none of those brands made skate shoes. So you could wear whatever you wanted. And I'd see Guy in some Air Maxes or something, and I'm like, damn, I want that. I don't know, I can't say, but I don't think it would have been that out of the ordinary.
Who has the best frontside flip?
There's a few. I'm gonna give a couple people. Tom Penny is like my all-time favorite frontside flip. Mike Carroll has one of the best ones ever. Tiago has one of the best ones ever.
Do you think that this shoe will elevate skate shoe tech for other companies?
I think so. You know, I see a lot. I talk to a lot of people that don't ride for New Balance, and they're that like, you know, like to jump and huck, and they're like, dude, I want to try your shoe. You know what I mean? So this is definitely going to be one of those shoes that's going to be in all the design departments of every company, cut open and like, let's see what they did.
What is the weirdest fan experience or someone fanning out on you?
Definitely signed some like tacos and stuff like that. Signing food and stuff always seems kind of funny, but nothing like too crazy. No, I did definitely some big ass like Hollywood 16 frontside flip tattoos. One guy has like his whole thigh.
Thiago just did Kawhi Leonard collab. Who's your dream New Balance athlete to collab with?
Oh man, Tiago.
That's sick.
Can we collab with Tiago?
Yeah. Here we go.
Let's make the number all big, 10, 10, 9, 3, 3, like a huge number.
Do you think that New Balance will ever re-release the shoe bling for these shoes?
The color? I mean, I never really. So does it have to have diamonds in it to be the real thing, or can it just be brown with gum?
Oh, it's gotta have diamonds like right out the lace.
Diamonds? Yeah, maybe. They got to be real diamonds though this time. Real diamonds, and I'm just gonna be taking them all like this and shoving them in my pocket.
Yeah. It'll be like.
No, we could probably definitely get that color going.
What's the backstory of this shoe being in the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater game?
I mean, Tony every so often gets a chance to re-release the game, and you know they want the character to be accurate to where you are in your life at that time. So we sent over pictures. I mean, I didn't even have to. Now they have like whatever. What is that called? They have me there in the computer.
Character, yeah.
So I used to have to go down to this place and get my photo shot in this crazy sphere with lights all around everywhere. But now they're like, hey, send a couple phone photos of your outfit and the shoes, and then they send it back. It's perfect. I guess the technology has gotten way better.
Was your shoe design finished?
It wasn't done. It wasn't done, but I told everybody at New Balance, like, should we get it in the game? And I think everybody was like, yeah, that'd be sick. People love Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh yeah. What's your dream non-skate sponsor or non-skate sponsor?
Non-skate sponsor. All right. I mean, my brain and like right away is going like logic, like all logical. You know, like I'm like, okay, like retirement funds or something like that, like a
mutual fund sponsor.
Charles Schwab. But I'm like, but I mean, maybe Mercedes. I want a new car really bad, but I got this beat up van. I can't find it in myself to get a new car. I spent too much money when I was young.
That's right.
But Mercedes, if they see this and they want an old skater guy, holler at me.
There you go. Hopefully someone from marketing watching this channel.
They're not going to.
What's your favorite skateboard shop?
Skate shop?
Yeah.
Valsurf in the Valley.
It's quick. I love them. There you go.
Yeah, they've had my back ever since I've moved right there.
Remember to go buy these at your local skate shop. Stay out of the malls. And to help you, we made a list of every single skate shop in North America that is selling these. It's in the link below. Also, our friends at Rose and Anvil and Blue Tile both were invited to make a video on this as well. We encourage you to go check out their videos. They're gonna have a completely different take than we did.